Our next person is going to be a speaker, and that's going to be Bill Mohr. They've made tremendous progress in building their party organization at the county level in Michigan in the last 2 years. They're starting to attract very successful people that are coming over from the other parties. And I just wanted Bill to share with us what they've been able to do in Michigan. So Bill, please come forward.
I have no microphone. I have an unofficial motto for our party in the state of Michigan, and that's good governance. Just simply good governance. That's our goal. And is not that the goal of the entire Constitution Party? Frank asked me to speak. We got 15 minutes here, so I'm going to cruise along just as fast as I can. Unfortunately, there was a certain group of gentlemen last night that kept me up way too late. So I'm going to talk as fast as I can here.
So if you need a little more time, take it.
Okay. Well, somebody stop me when it's over. By way of a little bit of resume here, we've currently got 13 official county committees in the state of Michigan. Now, we've got 83 counties. Now, I got to be honest with you, all 13 of those counties are not active county committees. What happens is when we have a state convention, if you show up from a certain county, you're elected chairman of that county. Okay? So that gives you the right to nominate candidates, which is usually yourself, and then you stay chairman of that county. So we've got 13 of those officially in the state of Michigan. Now, 3 of those 13 are meeting currently on a regular basis. 2 more of those are in the process of beginning meetings. One is just procrastinating, which I understand fully, and the other one has some personal issues that they're trying to work out so that they can get active and build a good, solid county committee. And I know that person, when they get to it, it's going to happen. It's going to happen well. Now, we have one new county committee that is, we've got the motion on the table, and it's going to be considered at our next state central committee meeting. This new county committee, I expect, will be accepted in Michigan, we're the U.S. Taxpayers Party yet. I expect will be admitted into the U.S. Taxpayers Party. That's a brand new county for us. We've been working with them. They've had a couple of meetings. They've got their officers elected. All we need to do is say, yes, we'll allow you to be a part of the U.S. Taxpayers Party. We also have 2 more brand new counties up in the Upper Peninsula that are meeting, that are organizing, that are setting themselves up. And as soon as they are ready, I will also recommend to the State Central Committee that we adopt both of those counties as well. On the 30th of this month, which is a week from Wednesday, Mary Sears, who you all, I'm sure, have met by now, and I will be meeting with another county halfway, well, up the state from me, down the state from her. We're going to meet with them on a Wednesday evening. They're going to have their introductory meeting, and we're looking forward to seeing what their goals are and introducing ourselves to them. We have got a flood of people right now that are interested in starting county committees. And I am thrilled, quite honestly, because for the last 4 years, Joe might remember better than I, but I've been pushing county committees. And I'll show you why here. But good governance, again, is our goal. And I think Frank asked me for a title for my speech. I think I said county committees, the path to good governance, or something like that. And I honestly believe that we cannot achieve the goals we want to achieve unless we start building county committees. And it is the path to building a good, solid party, to providing the funds that we need to operate a party, both on a national and state level, et cetera. So why county committees? One, I just covered. Two, it is the legal structure of a political party. It's the way it's established in the law. It's a system that, except for the eventual corruption that comes if you're not careful, it's a system that works very well. It's a bottom-up political system. County committees provide greater political influence. Now think about it. Your state central committee, or whatever you call it in your state, has a certain amount of influence, right? We've got, I don't even know how many we've got in our state central committee. 10 maybe? 10, 12? We have a certain amount of influence with that many people. 15 minutes, I started with 15 minutes. Okay, so then I better get moving. But if you have 10 county committees, how much greater is that influence? Just do the math. If you've got 10 people in the state central committee, you can reach that many. But if you have 10 county committees with 10 people, you've just multiplied that number tremendously. So what does a county committee do? It is influential in local government. County committees can pinpoint specific problems where the state central committee can't address it. County committees nominate certain candidates, and they support and aid those candidates, and they can do a much better job of it than the state central committee can. Much better. A county committee also can place poll watchers and challengers, where our state central committee cannot do that. That's in Michigan, that's done by county committees. And they elect party leadership. And you say, well, I don't want to be replaced. And if that's your attitude, you should be. All right, quite frankly. Build those county committees. Okay, how to run a county committee, and I'm just going to talk about how we did it. Years ago, I started a county committee in Kent County in Michigan, the Grand Rapids area. I just sent out a letter to everybody I knew in Kent County, and I personally called everybody I knew in Kent County. I say, hey, we're going to start a county committee. U.S. Taxpayers Party, we stand for all the right stuff. We'd like to see you come. I had a bunch of people that first time. There were like 15 people at my first meeting. I didn't even know what I was doing. I had no idea what a county committee did. I just knew we needed one. I was able to build that with very little effort, just a constant coffee and cookies, let's get together on Saturday morning thing, and we constantly ran 20 to 25 people. Now, we didn't realize we had the power we had, but when I became state chair, the guy that took over that particular county just kind of brought it down into dust, but he's no longer with the party. But it took very little effort. All you have to do is start and do it just like that. Invite everybody you know. But I want to encourage you to start your process ahead of time. Get the official process down. I've got, I think, 10 or 12 copies of our bylaws, an excerpt from the bylaws, and an excerpt from the common operating procedures, we call them. And that explains the process for getting a county committee started. Easy stuff, but get it done ahead of time, as a state party, I mean. And make it a priority. You got to promote. And I pushed and pushed and pushed county committees. I tried to find groups of people as a state chair, a lot of times to no avail. But I kept pushing. I would have phone conferences, which I had several people join. I think, Mary, you've been on those phone conferences a couple of years ago, how to start a county committee. We'd talk about how to do it. Everybody would understand how to start a county committee. Nobody would do it, right? Getting people to do it is the more difficult process. Then I thought, well, okay, let's get some commitment. So on one of the phone conferences, I says, we're not going to talk about how to do it. We're going to talk about when to do it. Nobody did it. Until one day when Mary called me and said, I'm going to start a county committee. That's cool. Let's do it. So she did. And she is a ball of fire. And she started in the adjacent counties around her, getting people interested, starting a county committee, and that's where we're at now. And I'm speaking, but I give Mary and Tim a lot of credit up in the Upper Peninsula because they are doing a tremendous job up there. We've got to ask, I'm finding out you've got to just ask people. It's like fundraising. Nobody will give you $1 unless you ask for it, right? So a couple of the guys in the State Central Committee, I personally asked. This is the story of two guys, and I won't tell you their names, but one guy says, "Why? I don't understand. Why should we meet?" And he didn't get it. He just didn't get it. The other guy kind of burned out on Tea Party stuff, and he procrastinated and procrastinated. But today, the first guy I mentioned has had 2 meetings. He's got officers elected. He's got one candidate running for representative, I think, U.S. representative. He's doing a pretty good job. The other guy is meeting for the first time on the 8th of next month. He's got the venue, he's got the time, he's got the people coming, he's got some commitments. I look for great things out of the new Kent County Committee as well. But what I meant to say there was all of the effort that I've been putting into these things for 4 years, all of a sudden began to take off, and all of a sudden began to mushroom. Don't quit. County committees are absolutely necessary to the building of this party. And to actually build a county committee is a very easy thing, but to get people to do it is tough as nails. Don't quit. As state party leadership, push and push and push and push. I ask for county committees more than Frank asks for donations to the Howard Phillips Society. It's just a constant thing. I even came up with a little book called the County Committee Handbook, and which I thought was really clever, right? Great little book. Until Mary came along, she says, that's not good enough. She says, we've got to have something much better than that. So the brand new Houghton County Committee says, we'll take it on as a project. So they came up with this. And this book inside it, just inside the front cover, says a compilation of notes and documents to help guide you through the process. And it's got the U.S. Taxpayers Party Statement of Purpose, a letter from the chairman, new county party checklist, goes through how to organize with the state. It's got sample agendas and minutes. It's got sample bylaws. It's got platforms. It's got everything in this book you need to start a county committee. And I'm going to make you the offer. I only have one copy of this, but if somebody wants some of the stuff that we have, I'll be more than happy to mail it to you. Okay, so what do we do at a meeting? We have a startup meeting. Again, Mary has come up with this process for beginning. With Wayne County recently, Wayne County, the Detroit area, they recently had their first meeting, And Mary drove, 9.5 hours or something from where you live to Wayne County. I drove to Wayne County. There were 12 people there, and Mary showed up with this booklet. And what we do, what she does, and the process that we've adopted is she just stands in front of the crowd and goes through, it's a difficult podium to work with here, the history of the U.S. Taxpayers Party. And I think this is incomplete. It's got our statement of purpose. It's got our platform in it. It's got the national platform in it. And she just takes an hour and presents why you should be interested in making the second meeting, basically, right? Why you should be interested in getting involved with the U.S. Taxpayers Party. And it's brilliant. It works. Now Wayne County, they lost a couple of people on their second meeting, but the people that showed up at the second meeting were committed. And at that point, you can elect your officers and set up a committee or a couple of people to work on bylaws and so forth. And that procedure has worked repeatedly. So, again, I would like to encourage everybody here, get going on county committees, get started pushing the people that you currently have in your organization to get busy. How do you go from the initial one to a multiplicity of people in various different counties, right? And I think the answer is just ask. Does Mary have a mic? Would you like to answer that?
The question really is how do you start a county committee is basically what it is. Whether you have one person that's interested or nobody that's interested. You can go into different counties cold, and if you have an idea of how to attract people, and there's ways to do this, and I'll tell you a few of them. When we first say we are going to pick a county, personally, I pick ones that are next to me first, and then I move out from there, but you can pick whatever ones you want. So pick a county that's where your mission field is going to be. You're going to go into that county. Well, you're going to find out where the media outlets are, and you're going to come up with a PSA, and you're going to put that out to all the radio stations, all the newspapers. You're going to invite yourself to the newsroom and those radio stations. You're going to get an interview with the newspaper and say that, hey, we're going to have this meeting on this day, this time, and everybody is invited to come to that. And you're going to do that with the radio stations and the newspaper. And that's how you do it initially. If you happen to have contacts in those areas, those are sent out by email or hard copy letter if that's what you need to do as well. Send those out there and set up your time. Make sure you arrive about an hour early to make sure that place is set up the way you want it. And what you're going to do is you dress like a person that means business. You wear your best suit. You come to create a party because that's what you are. You're representing this party, and you are going to look and act your best. You're going to speak with authority because that's what you are. You have the authority of this party behind you to build and create a county party. You're going to come with a packet of information that's here that has your contact information in it. And the people that you get at that party, you're going to generate interest and excitement with that. That's what you need to do, and you should, because this is the only standing political party that actually understands and believes in the Constitution and the principles of morality of this country, what it was founded on, and where it needs to go. So you have that behind you. This packet allows you to speak to them. It tells you the history of the party, what a county committee can do, and how powerful it can be, and the resolutions it can make within with its own boundaries, and where it can go from there. You're going to tell them how to do that. You're going to set up a next meeting after that, and you're going to build up who that executive committee members are going to be, and you're going to be their point of contact for at least the next few meetings so that they're up, they're ready to go, and they're moving forward. That's what you want. And you remain their point of contact if they need anything, but you step that back and you set them free, and by God, they will take it and go run.